Hey everyone. I wanted to take a moment today to share with you a session that I did with a client who visited an Arcturian space station that was located around Earth. It was a really wonderful session. And unfortunately, we had a lot of interference and lost a lot of the audio. So I've transcribed it and I thought it would be a fun one to share. She visited this space station during session, and we got to know a higher aspect of herself. This Arcturian aspect is working to create plants and all kinds of vegetation that's going to seed the new earth. They're growing these plants in laboratories that are much higher vibrational and are bringing them in whatever capacity that would be to new earth. And I thought it was really interesting. And even though we lost the audio, decided to share it today. So I will be reading it here from my notes. And we begin with the client arriving at a place that I'm asking her to describe for me. So I ask her to tell me where she is. And she replies that she's in some sort of room or place that is blue-green in color. It looks like maybe out in space or a Stargate, some kind of an energy. So it starts to open up and she feels that something is beckoning to her to come in. So she steps through the portal and finds herself aboard a ship. So I ask her, are we inside the ship right now? And she says, yes. I see beings. They're blue with elongated heads, and I feel that they're Arcturian. And I ask her, do you feel that you know these people? And she says, yes, I do, but I'm just focusing on this one on the right-hand side now. But I definitely sense that there are some others. So I ask her, let's take a look around the ship and tell me what else you see. So she explains, it's like I came out of this portal holding onto something, some kind of a thing for travel. She couldn't really describe what it was. And she saw a being come up to her and hold out a hand, offering to help her. So she sensed that this being was looking at her, checking her over. She took his hand and said it was very, very cool. So I asked her, you feel that you are acquainted with this being. Why don't you ask him to tell us more about himself? What does he do on board this ship? So she answers, I don't know. I just know that he's my friend. He's checking on me to make sure everything is in order from being in the portal. I see now that I'm wearing a kind of white bodysuit. I'm not sure if he's wearing one too, but I see a white bodysuit type of thing. He's wearing it. Mine is similar now, but it's blue. Okay, now she says, he's walking to another room. It's like this is some sort of a space station. Are we going with him? Yes, but it's very hard to tune into this place. It's like I'm seeing a combination of things, almost like a scientific laboratory. And there are these shoots of plants. They're growing in test tubes and beakers, and it's really interesting. What are these plants for? I ask. He's telling us that they're for the new earth. It's almost like a plant nursery. We get them ready and then we transplant them on the surface of the new earth. They're not that much different than the plants on earth now, just much more vibrant and healthy, much greener, and it's all brand new growth. Why is he showing this to us right now? He says that this is our purpose. This is what we do. We're helping the new earth to grow, to vegetate, and to return to a vibrant reality, a natural state. This is being done in preparation for the fifth dimensional new earth, and just already there. The new earth is there. We're just preparing it. So I go on to ask my client, what is your connection to this project? She explains, I'm an integral part of it. This is our work. This is what we do. Yes, I'm a part of this crew. We're all Arcturians, yes. I'm seeing the new earth now, almost like in a fast forward motion picture, showing the plants growing, really, really tall, deep forests with sun coming through the tops. Very lush, just wild and natural. It's been so long. I have such joy in my heart to see this. It's just overflowing with joy. It's working now. It's really happening. So it's very exciting that she was getting to see that she's playing a part in the actual creation of our fifth dimensional new earth. Now I ask her, so you are working on this project on this space station, but you are also incarnated now as Tina. Are you living both of these lives at the same time? And how do you do this? She says, yes, at the same time. Would it be possible for us to see even more of this facility? Can we have a tour? The beings with us say yes. They would be happy to show us around. So we begin walking around the ship, taking in all the different sites. And I ask my client, what's catching your attention now? What are you focused on? She says, I'm seeing that it's almost like we're looking out a window. I see the planet Earth. It's glowing, blue and green, and we're close enough to actually see it. This is some sort of control room that we're in or something. It's a bridge, so to speak. There are others. They're doing all different things. Everyone has a job. We all have like a cobalt blue, almost purple skin. No hair. I'm hearing someone say, all is going according to plan. But there's a huge sense of busyness about this place, almost as if it's time. They have computers or something to check on what's happening right now on the planet. And they are checking the plants and the pH levels, the temperatures. They say they're almost ready. They're saying something now about a volcano. Now I'm seeing a huge eruption and lava just spilling over and flowing. I don't know much more about it. I just see it, just the visual. Now, this session took place probably about 3 months ago, before it was really in the news about many of the eruptions. It was just before all of that happened. So it's very interesting to look back on this session to this part and see where she's viewing these things. So I go on to ask, can they tell us where on the planet this volcano is located? She says, I'm getting a sense of an island. It's more of a sense that it's not ominous yet. Maybe Hawaii, someplace else. I'm getting that it's just a part of creation. It's how the land is formed. I still see this volcano, and it's almost like I'm fast forwarding. It creates land, and then growth happens on top of that. And it just seems to be showing me part of the process of creation. I don't know. It just seems like a normal thing. It's not about any impending disaster. It's more like they're showing me how long we've actually been doing this. Now they're showing me something else, how we take a part of ourselves and come to Earth, live on it, and that's part of our mission, which is the part that they sent is the aspect that is my client, Tina. So I ask, what else would they like us to see while we're aboard this place? She says, I'm getting what feels like a message that this is hard to describe. It's almost like they're showing me what they do when they sit in meditation. They go deep into peace and connect. Very, very deep inner peace is created. The message I'm getting seems to be that it's really important to do, and we should be doing it often as possible, but we're not. Really go inside and connect to your inner peace. That is joy, they say, and it's beautiful. So how do they find that this will help us? She replies, it helps us to tap into the no time, to lose our anxieties and just be. Be within that sense of peace. That sense of peace is always there for us. Don't worry about when and how. Just really be with it, with that sense of peace, with that part of ourselves. Because that part of ourselves is us. That's what we need to do. It feels like it's a really big thing, simple, but really big. It's important that we bring that peace, that light, that knowing, that centeredness into ourselves. It not only heals us, but it heals absolutely everything around us. And that's how we slowly bring up the light on the planet. Now, I am just basking here in that peace. I go on to ask her, I would like to know what their opinion is about how humanity is doing right now with the ascension and the process of awakening. What would they like to say regarding the process of humanity right now? Where are we at? Well, we get a little bit of Arcturian humor there, which I don't normally associate with the Arcturians. So it was really fun to see their responses to a couple of our questions. My client starts really laughing very hard, and I have no idea what it is she's laughing at, but it has something to do with their response. And I ask her, what did they say? And she's just laughing and says, it's almost as if they don't care. They aren't really concerned with the progress of humanity. They say that they are more concerned about the plants. It's like they're saying, or one of them actually says to her, oh, those humans, will they never get it? And I think a lot of us ask ourselves that question quite often. So it was fun to see them echo our thoughts. So I ask, does this ship also work with the animals? Well, she says, I don't get a sense of annoyance about the animals. What I'm being shown is something that happened right before this session began. I was out walking, enjoying the plants, and I heard these birds, like they were all just talking, and it was such a happy sound. I stopped and took a video just to capture the sounds. It's the same sense of satisfaction now that they have with the plants, that it's working, that it's shifting, that the light is growing, and the animals and plants are so, so happy. It sounds to me, I say, like the humans need to catch up to where the plants and animals are. Maybe be a little less complicated. Is this true? Yes, she says, just seeing these people, they're minding their own business here. They just are happy. Their whole process seems to be working. And what advice, I ask, can they give to your human aspect on Earth about your mission and how to attain that happiness here? They reply, just stay the course, but enjoy the connections. All of us are one. We are considered family. We've been on the ship for a very, very long time, working together. I'm getting a sense of continuity, consistency, she says. But they say the periods before on Earth are coming back. We simply use parts of ourselves to incarnate on the planet in many different forms, and then we come back. I ask, is there anything else we need to do while we are visiting this ship today? I'm seeing one of these beings. There's a blue stone on her brow, right on top of the third eye area. I don't know why I'm seeing this, but it feels like something is going on with my third eye as well. I don't know if that's a transmission or what. So we take a moment and we allow this transmission or this energy to integrate within her third eye. And then she says, it's more of a sensation now of purpley blue light flooding in. It feels like a heat or even a hand is there. I asked about the stone that sits over this being's third eye. And I phrase it, is this stone that sits over his third eye a tool that he utilizes in his work? My client starts laughing, this time fairly uncontrollably again. And I asked what is happening. And she said, for some reason, it's important that you know that he is a she. And she is laughing now. She thinks it's funny that you thought she was a he. Her focus seems to be now on the other beings. This is her job, keeping their connection clear. I think this is how I communicate when I'm on Earth. It's how they can know, how they can get information from me. Now I think she's making some corrections or some connections with me. It feels like a healing. I can feel that my energy is now coming down and growing. The energy is coming into my third eye, through the head and into my shoulders. Now it's going all the way down my body. It's very pleasant, and she seems so pleased. I have a feeling of being told, she says, that this is just one aspect of my multidimensional self. An important part for sure. I'm being given some flashes of other previous lifetimes, some other past lives that I've known, that they've sent me. I see an alligator woman from long, long ago, from when the planet Earth was brand new. So I was there, they tell me, in that form, birthing more, just populating the planet, really. I see them now, all of the lives. I was some sort of violet lavender blue being, also with feathers. This is new. In this life, I had feathers, but not big feathers, but they were like down feathers. I'm sensing a type of blue avian. I see a beak, and that also was on Earth. When I went to that lifetime, it feels like it's in this scene, in the same area that I'm in now, in Arizona. But none of the vegetation is the same. It's a desert now, in now time, but it wasn't a desert then. There was a lot more water, almost like I'm being shown that there was a whole lot more water, quite a bit, and that was normal back at that time. In that lifetime, I was very involved with an orchard that was there, energetically connecting through the heart and sending love. I'm not sure if that's the right word, energy, love energy. There was this energy work being done, and it was all about the plants, the trees. It was quite beautiful. So I asked her what happened in Arizona to change the landscape to what it is now. She says, I see some beings coming down, dark beings, who wanted to harm us, to destroy everything. They had weapons. It was like they set everything on fire. They killed all of us. The whole situation that I'm seeing changes. It's shifting. Everything shifted in this place. Everything, the climate. It's part of what happened to this place and happened to the blue avians. I know I have a strong connection to them. I don't know exactly, but I get a sense that it's connected to Ra. There have been other lifetimes. I know I've been in Egypt. I have been shown Egypt before. There's a connection there. I'm getting confirmation that it's all related. I'm getting a sense also of a woman on a farm in the fields. She looks like she's in a prairie. It was not that long ago in our time on Earth. As a reference, maybe in the last couple of 100 years, at the most. She's a farm person, and I'm being reminded of dreams where I'm checking on plants. There just seems to be a common theme with all of these lifetimes. So what we learned when we visited this ship was that there was a common thread. All of her lifetimes, including this one, have to do with tending the earth, seeding the earth, working with the plants. And it was very exciting that she was shown that on the fifth dimensional new earth, she's going to be doing much of the same thing. And she's doing it now in a different form, as a different aspect upon this space station, excuse me. So we eventually left this place, taking with us everything we learned, and went on to speak with the higher self and find out a little bit more about what we encountered aboard this place with the plants. So I asked why my client was given this information. Why were we brought here to this place today? And the higher self elaborated on my client's situation and said, she has been a keeper of knowledge many, many times, a protector of this things spiritual, of information and spiritual technologies. She would teach people. It was the type of information that the dark ones work very hard to suppress. So from the time to time, she's had to move on to teach, and she's had to leave places before she was captured and tortured. She's been shown this in dreams and needed to know why she's had a sense of dread and a need to hide her knowledge and her abilities. But she needs to know that that time is over and it's time to let herself shine. They're referring to her natural spiritual abilities, but also her ability to tend to the plants and the vegetation and the life on Earth. There were some other parts of the session that talked about her fleeing in another lifetime. And so what they say is that that time is over now. It is time for her to let herself shine. Those abilities within her and within others too need to be remembered. It's time for them to be remembered. There's no need to be afraid anymore of the darkness and of letting yourself shine. They cannot stop it anymore. There are layers of connection. I see the councils, and they send out parts of themselves to the ships. Then they send out parts of themselves to the earth and parts of themselves to other planets. And this is how everything is connected. Everything is connected this way. Multiple layers of connections through time and space. She's doing this plant work everywhere, every place, all over, in many different star systems, with many different parts of herself. But she must remember she is a part of this creation process, part of this beautiful evolution that happens everywhere. She is a large part of it. She must allow the joy to come up. Everything that is happening now on earth is a part of her path, part of everyone's path. And she must be reminded that she needs to roll with it and have fun. So I wanted to share this session because it's such a great reminder that there's so many things at play that's out of our perception, out of our line of vision. Sometimes it seems that we can go on and nothing is ever going to change. But when we hear sessions like this, we can see that it is going to change. And over just millennia, it has changed over and over again throughout the galaxy. And all signs point to us being very, very close to the culmination of that change. So this was a particularly uplifting session for both of us. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.